Hello, my friends. Welcome in. It is episode number 1 of a brand new series on the channel. As you can see, I gotta get used to being on this side of the screen. Over there, yeah, For the King. You clicked on the thumbnail, so you probably already know. So, this game is a hex tile, like kind of like the camera angle's looking down at the map this way, not like straight down, but not like this. It's kind of at an angle. Hex tile. You've got a party of 3. It's called Roguelike Dungeon Crawler. What that means is if somebody in your party dies, depending on how you set up the game, you might have 2 lives to where they can be resurrected. And you can earn additional lives throughout the game. But essentially, if you get team wiped, you're done. Like, game over, GG, have a good one, start all the way over. Which is a little surprising to me because I was thinking it was going to be more like Darkest Dungeon, to where you could pick up new characters and continue along the storyline. But that's not the case, my friends. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to show you how to get the game set up, kind of some of the features. I have played around with it a bit, as you can see, resume. Because I did a recording of me first playing the game, and it was quite dull, because I was like doing this a lot. Does that work? And not knowing how to play, and I thought, while that might have some entertainment value, I thought it'd be more entertaining if I played a little bit, and then we hop into and start over. So, so you could choose your adventure. I don't know if they're going to add future ones, but essentially this is the story. For the king, the king's been murdered, and you attempt to solve the murder and restore order to the land. Now, what you get here is the apprentice level. It's the difficulty level, so easy, medium, and absolutely insane. And journeyman is really, really hard. So I'm gonna recommend you do apprentice, because essentially you get 4 life pool. That means 4 resurrects. Chaos, which is essentially every 6 rounds there's a chaos skull that moves across the screen. Actually, from your perspective, it goes this way. And then if you haven't defeated something that causes that, then essentially all the bad guys in the kingdom get more life. So they go from like 100 to 105%, or 95% to 100% as it starts here. So you are incentivized to continue to take out these chaos generator type things, is what it's called, to bring the chaos levels down to make it easier to fight the baddies, right? You get max focus. Focus is something that you can use on your abilities or to move further on the map. You get health gain at the end of your turns. And you start with more stuff, right? You actually have gold to start. God's Beard is like your health potion type thing. Golden Root gives you more focus, and a Tinder Pouch, which is like a campsite where everybody can rest and get their HP back and all that kind of stuff. As you can see, if you go to Journeyman, like, you lose almost all the start items. And like, I tried Journeyman in the first recording, and it was hard. Like, it's hard to learn a new game. I was like, it's medium, you know what? Don't just. Unless you watch this series and you're like, I think I got the hang of this, just don't. You can also do it online co-op or local co-op. Obviously, I'm going to do solo adventure. Dungeon Crawl is just something to kind of like try it out a little bit. And you've got, essentially, if you can go to all 5 deadly dungeons and destroy them, then you win. I've played it a good bit. It's quite hard. And this one, you get to fight a giant angry polar bear. So who wouldn't want that? So we're going to do For the King. And then I had been playing, as you can see down below, with Sadio Mane, Mo Salah, and Bobby Firmino. That's how I've been playing it. But if you're familiar with my Patreon, which is in the description below, at the $10 a month level, I guarantee, or I tell my patrons, I will try and put you into games as a very, 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 very tiny way of saying thank you. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna change the names here. I think I can do that. Yes. To Matt Broadway. He's one of my patrons. We'll just say Jason Duncan. I don't want to type the whole name. And Dustin Kraus, who are supporting me on the channel. And again, if you're not at the $10 a level a month, don't worry, these guys are gonna die, and then we can try using you, I guess. But I do guarantee it for these guys. I really don't feel like changing all the faces, and they're wearing red because I'm a Liverpool fan, to be completely honest with you. I will show you the class info here. If you want to pause it, you can take a look at it. But essentially, blacksmith is your tank, right? Strong, which means can use strength weapons. Has a passive skill steady. Starts with a hammer and a shield and some gold. Your hunter is more, can like evade attacks sometimes. Starts with a bow and hermit grass, which helps him have more speed and some gold. And then the scholar is your mage class, right? Scholar's book, teleport scroll, and 10 gold. There are other ones like herbalist, which you have to unlock. Like there's some unlocks you have to get. The minstrel is like your bard, has encourage and inspire and does some cool stuff. So maybe we'll try that out in the future. And a woodcutter, which I've unlocked that because I played some, you can unlock some of this. So the woodcutter makes for a stalwart ally in combat, swinging his weapon with all his considerable might. Even inanimate objects fail to determine. Blah, 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 blah. Woodcutter's axe, Fa-Rule Mule, and 9 gold. So I'm going to go back to Scholar because that's how I've been playing, and I know how to play these 3 classes before I just start randomly, you know, trying stuff out on you. All right. The brink of chaos. Good King Bronner has been slain. The once peaceful kingdom of Faru is being corrupted by wild chaos energy and ravaged by monsters and bandits. The grieving Queen Rosamond has called for Faru's ordinary citizens to search the land for the king's murder and the source of the chaos energy. The tale now begins in the Guardian Forest, where there have been rumors of suspicious activity and sinister strangers in the woods. 3 would-be heroes meet in Orton to begin their quest. I just want to say, if you're a king and a queen, wouldn't you have an army? I'm just saying, you're gonna send out, hey peasants, please. Yeah, you look like a blacksmith. Bring your hammer. Come on, go save the kingdom. Like, I'd be like, where have my taxes been going? Where's this army? Why is your crown so nice? I'm just saying. Anyway. All right, so as you can see. Okay, well, let's go into the story. First, the wizard Vexor vanishes, then my own husband was slain in his palace. You may be the last hope of Far Rule. Those might be related. I've not played the storyline. I've been playing in the dungeon crawler to get experience. I'm just gonna say, let's see. The wizard disappears, the husband dies. Just saying. Seek out Hildebrand and Woodsmoke. You will be told how best to aid our efforts. Your quest has begun. Strive against this chaos, lest our realm be consumed by it. I'm not gonna do that voice the whole time. Hopefully she doesn't talk a lot. So essentially, all right, you roll movement. So kind of like D&D-ish, like you can only roll as far as you, and you can have bad rolls and stuff like that. But essentially, you can zoom in and out, right? Ooh, and use WASD as the defaults to move your camera around. So essentially we have to go to Woodsmoke. But let me show you some stuff before we get moving. Now that I know how to play the game, I think it's going to be a little bit more impactful if I explain it. So this thing up here is your timeline. So upcoming events are marked on the timeline, which progresses by 1 bar each round, and a round is 1 turn for each of your characters. And then it moves this way. Bum, bum, bum. So this is a chaos symbol, and these are your chaos levels. So there's a thing called a chaos generator that you can find in each of the kingdoms, and if you take it apart, I thought you had to do a battle. You just have to take it apart, which takes some skill and whatever. Then it removes the chaos either from here, if you've got one here, or from the timeline to kind of, you know, push back when the next one hits. When the first one hits, it goes like enemies have 105% of their health, and then 110%. And then 115%, and it's like you lose 15 HP around, which is crazy. Like, it really puts a squeeze on you if you're trying to like find a chaos generator, which is not very. There's only, my understanding, 1 in each kingdom area. To like, it just saps your characters and you're dead. So it's quite challenging. You kind of have to like spread out, but not too far. So let's take. Oh, I can't show you, but essentially around each of the bad guys, there's an area that you can be in and also attack. So you don't have to all be together, but you can't be like over here and attack and all be together, if that makes sense. But if they're close enough, these things will join. Okay? So that's the basics. You can see HP, and there's all kinds of stuff down here. But essentially, these items here determine, based on the weapon you're using, how accurate you'll be with it. Obviously, like, so strength, you want your tanky guy to use a strength-based weapon, because his strength is 81, versus a awareness-based weapon, or an intelligence-based weapon, because his intelligence is almost 50% of his strength, right? So, basic things like that. Oh, I guess I can show you here. So you see that I can left-click. Oh no, I'm not. That'll take you to the appendix. But those red hexes, if I have a character or hero, whatever they're called, in one of those red hexes, then it's fine, like if I engage in combat, because my guys will come with me. But again, the same thing happens. If there's another bad guy in one of the red hexes, then they'll join in too, unless you do an ambush. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. We got to go up here to Woodsmoke, so let's get going. Also, what's interesting is random stuff can appear in front of you, or like you get ambushed by the enemy sometimes. So once you're out of moves, you just come up here and click in turn. Now, what you can also do is if you don't use all of your, like, so let's say I only go 3 here, right? I've got 2 movement left. If I rest right now, it'll heal 2 HP. Now, I don't need to heal 2 HP, but it would do that. Okay, so that's how the game works. Ooh, the glittering mines. Okay, that's kind of after you go here. This is where we go next, is my guess. That's why it's got little locks on it. So a hero, you can tribute to one of these statues, and it gives you different benefits. So this is full focus and 12 XP. Focus are these things here, so I don't need any focus, and XP would be great, but you kind of want to time that to when you actually need focus. So I'm gonna click here, and it's gonna say, hey, do you want to go tribute to it? Because only one hero can tribute to it. I'm just gonna say leave and just sit there and use up my movement, because we're just trying to get the Woodsmoke. Actually, I just realized we don't all have to go to Woodsmoke, so we can kind of spread out a little bit here. Here comes Dustin the Scholar. All right, let's end that turn. All right, Matt, can we get a good roll? Oh, a 5. So he can't go all the way. I'm gonna send. Okay, so here's a good example. Let's just get some combat going. Let me show you the Beastman Warlock, and this Imp may join, and this Beastman may join. So it's a Beastman, a Warlock, a Beastman, and an Imp. Well, let's show you the options here. So we can fight, which is just getting into the fight. You can ambush. Okay, so you see Matt is the one initiating the attacks down here, right? So he's got 4 focus. I can right-click and fill in one of my rolls, and that changes the slot outcomes. I can do it again. I can do it again to guarantee the outcome. I'm not that worried about it. Or I can try and sneak by, same thing. You can kind of guarantee that if you have enough focus, and you can regain focus various different ways, but that's how it works. Or you can just retreat. Let's get right into it. Let's do a big old fight, shall we? I think my garage door just opened because my wife just came home. So you can see Imp does a little hop, skip, and a jump towards me. That yellow thing that's under the Imp means he will evade any non-perfect attack. So you have to hit all 3 for the attack to land, which is quite unfortunate and usually difficult to do. The Beastman Warlock has essentially magic armor of 1. It's called Resistance. Nobody else has any armor. Okay, so let's go take a look here, and we're just going to. I'm a big believer in just like focus fire, taking somebody out. So since this is magic damage, it would be reduced by 1. If we rolled if we rolled all 3, we'd have 6 reduced by 1 would be 5. That would kill him. But that's a risk. But let's take it, shall we? Oh, cheeky. But that's not gonna kill him. So let's just do this. I could, and you can use your focus for those as well. So like, that's the thing with your focus. You can save it for moves. You can save it for ambushes. You can save it for guaranteeing attacks. So we've done that now. So Matt can taunt and essentially be the tank and say like, "Come at me, bro." And if he hits both of these, then their next set of attacks, I think, I don't know how long it lasts, but it will come towards him. He can smash, which is like a standard, I'm going to hit you with my hammer. And then he can send a shockwave, which if this was like on the middle guy, and we rolled all 4 perfect, then 5 splash damage to either side. But since this one is alone, and there's no splash damage hitting over here, and I don't want to even hit it anyway, I want to use this. I'm not counting on a perfect roll to take out the Imp. I want to take out what we can take out. See, that's not a perfect roll. Only 8 damage, and that would have completely missed and done 0 to the Imp. So we kind of let the Imp do his thing. And we're going to take out this guy until all of our attacks are left to go on the Imp. And we'll hope that our magic hits. It's not going to kill him because he's got 10 health, but see, we did a perfect, so he couldn't evade it. Hopefully you're following along with this. I'm really glad I'm doing this on the second recording, because the first time I was like, I don't even know what's happening. And now you're just gonna have to. We could use. See, he dodged it. We could use our focus. I don't want to use our focus this early. He says while they miss all their attacks. Perfect. You guys are killing me with your rolls. This is getting old. Come on, Jason. There we go. Smash. So 17 health, 4 health, and that's it. You gain XP, 4 XP. You gain some gold. We'll just share it. Sure. Purify scroll. Sometimes the hexes have like poison on them, so like you can clear out an area and remove all the poison or whatever. So I just randomly give that to somebody. Black candy, permanent +1 to physical damage. We're gonna give that to our tank. Enjoy that, Matt. So we've cleared that out, and I'll show you. Since we've got 2 here, let's just move 1 forward and kind of clear some of this out so we can see, and then we gain an HP because we rested. So that's how that works. Right, 1, 2, 3. Yep, we can go all the way to wood smoke. Bam, bam.
Always good to see new faces join the quest. I am Hildebrand, the Queen's agent, overseeing things in the Guardian Forest. Things are bad here. Really bad.
Except the beard. Beard's not bad, my friend.
All signs point to some evil folk who have locked themselves away in the glittering mines.
That's that thing over there. Yeah, thanks. Found it. Yep, we already found it.
I'll work on getting you down there.
Okay, so it's not unlocked.
In the meantime, a strange contraption has been spotted. Go investigate it.
It's the cult device. So it's not a chaos device, it's a cult device, but essentially the same idea. You dismantle this and it gets rid of this chaos.
And some angry folks in fancy robes have made themselves right at home. Best prepare for a good fight.
Chaos leader in the Guardian Force. Okay, so we're all level 0. And you can do those objectives however you like. In each town, forest, village, whatever, you can buy things, you know, more Godsbeard, which is your like health potion, stuff like that, better boots and weapons and stuff like that. We're not going to spend any of our money right off. You can also go to services and go to the inn, which helps you recuperate your HP and some of your focus, and we're going to use that because, well, Jason kind of got beat up a little bit. Alrighty, so these guys are level 1, we're level 0, so we kind of want to go pick a fight somewhere and maybe up our levels a bit. Okay, that's going to bring in... Oh, this is risky. Let's do it. So, okay, you see this? This logo means it contains multiple enemies on a single hex but can be isolated if you ambush. So this is where we would take on 2 bees and a poison thing with just 2 of us. That seems like a bit much. So I think we're going to try and ambush, and we're going to use our focus to essentially guarantee. So you see that down at the bottom? We were full. Right click, right click, right click. Get the ambush on. We guarantee it. You can't misroll a perfect roll because you've already rolled, essentially, right? And all that means is we get to go first, and if we hadn't done that, then there'd be another bee and one of the things that looks like a Venus flying trap, right? So maybe Dustin can just finish it off here for us. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Nice job, Dustin. And so only they get the XP because they were the only ones here. Apparently bees don't carry gold. You know, that's quite unfortunate. Now that we've done that, we don't really need to heal. We can come down there because we are going to take this on. You just want to take them on. Ideally, you want to isolate and take them on one-on-one. That's the preferred way of doing things, right? We'll take this out and then make our way this way, and Jason can join us. In the turn, Jason's kind of surrounded there. But you know what? I'm feeling pretty confident if we can guarantee the ambush here, so he doesn't have to take on 3 by himself. We can also sneak, right? You just need the 1 to sneak by. But what's the fun in that? If you get the 2%, Jason, I'm concerned for you. I'm thinking we could take out the 1 crow by ourselves. Like, if you can hit 1 attack, and you get to go twice, apparently, because you ambushed, you got 7 damage. You just hit once. Boom. So, again, focus is important. And you can use this thing here, this golden root. It gives you 3 focus. So you kind of have to manage it, but, you know, it's quite handy to have around. in my opinion. So he's full HP. Oh, okay. So see that just randomly appeared. So it's kind of like it's not an ambush, but you can retreat from this one, or you can ambush it. You can sneak past it. Let's just fight it. It's just the one, right? What could go wrong? He's got 11 health. We got to hit 2 attacks, and he's going to get an attack in. You can see the turn of attacks appear. Those hearts appear as if somebody dies. You get 4, essentially, revives if somebody dies. Oh, you legend. Dodges it. Can you hit another? That's only, it reduces the damage, right? 2/3 of 7 is 4? I could argue it's 5, but apparently it rounds down. Take a little bit of a damage there. And he can also ignore armor, but it's only 39% chance. He'd have to roll a perfect. So, and he doesn't have armor, but just something to keep in mind if you're playing. If you see blue armor, that's against physical attacks, stuff like that. So 4 XP, get some more gold. Oh, picks up a wooden shield that he can't use because his weapon is two-handed. That's also a thing. We're gonna not tribute, and we don't need the focus just yet, but we're gonna park and take the HP. All right, I think this is gonna be the last thing I show. We don't need to ambush because it's just the one. I'm gonna show you this, and in the next episode, we'll go take on that other camp to try and get some more XP. I'd like to get to level 1 before we try the glittering mines. Just an idea. No area blast, because there's nothing else in the area. Perfect hit. Dustin, nice. Can we fit? No, it has to be 11. He'd have to roll like a crit. So it's gonna get 1 attack in. Ouch. 7 damage. And a perfect. Boom. What's the flying? It looks actually like one of the things from Mario, in my opinion. And we picked up some Godspeed, which is quite tasty. We're not going to use it. We don't need 15 HP right now, but we'll stuff it in the old backpack. And I think that's where we're going to end it there, my friends. So in the next episode, what we'll do is we'll come up here and take probably that on before coming over here and taking this stuff on. But we're trying to get to a level, and then the Glittering Mines is level 2. So you definitely want to level up. Like, the ideal is you're the same level of the thing that you're taking on, because otherwise it's more powerful than you and might kill you. But let me know if this is something that you're interested in, kind of a new thing on the channel. I'm not sure how consistent it'll be that I'll get something out. I've got to go create a thumbnail on this and all that kind of stuff, but make sure you check out this stuff that's popping up over here. Again, thank you to Matt, Jason, and Dustin for supporting me on Patreon. Hopefully you guys are going to enjoy living, hopefully very long, and not getting massacred and you having to start over, because that would be not fun, right? No worries. All right, we're going to end it. Have a good one.